What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are talking about Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano, and all of the right people that need to be upset about this are crying tears right now, because of course they are. The same people that will tell you how representation matters and how equality is needed. That group of people is now crying and wants Rosario Dawson canceled over accusations that have never been proven. This is the same Rosario Dawson that's hooked up with Cory Booker. The same Rosario Dawson that is an SJW herself. She's out there screaming Orange Man bad constantly. She's literally everything they say they want, yet she has an opinion, or potentially an opinion, because she was accused of something. Therefore, they have formulated an entire narrative around who she is as a person, even though everything says that she's just like them in terms of her nonsensical views on the world, yet they're eating her alive because social justice weirdos always eat each other alive. And this is Lucasfilm. This is the entire culture that they have created at Lucasfilm. Even people within Lucasfilm are turning their backs on Rosario Dawson. Even people within the company want her gone and are talking about how disgusted they are of her after she gave a phenomenal performance, and that makes them even more angry. The fact that the majority of the internet loved her performance in last night's episode of The Mandalorian, it makes them even angrier now. The thing they claim they want, they never wanted, because it's never about what they claim they want, because they want special treatment. And in the Oppression Olympics, you will always find someone more oppressed, and we're seeing a classic example of that right now, and it is a beautiful thing to witness. I love watching these people melt down and cry. The Force was never about being female. The Force's female was all about the next line in Oppression Olympics, the next person up. And then once the Force becomes female, then the Force has to become a woman of color, and then it has to become a trans person, and then a non-white trans person, and then a non-black trans person, and the list goes on and on. Then it just never ends. They will always invent a new group of people that's more oppressed than the next, and they will always eat you alive when they feel that you are part of the privileged category. That is how social justice operates, a never-ending rabbit hole of nonsense, and we're seeing that right now, and it is beautiful. So here's the story. The story has news about the Rosario Dawson anti-trans accusations. 18 of the 20 charges in the 2019 lawsuit, including all the claims of misgendering and discrimination, have been voluntarily withdrawn by the accuser. There was no settlement. So the entire case was withdrawn, or 18 of the 20 charges have been withdrawn by the accuser. Yet they're still saying that she is this thing, because you can't get into any altercation with anyone without being listed something. So if I get in a fight with one of my friends, am I an anti-man then? Or maybe I get in a fight with one of my friends who's a black person. Am I then a racist because I got in a fight with a black person? Like, you can't even have an altercation without being, or a potential altercation without being labeled an ist or an ism or a phobe or whatever, because this is social justice. They do not care. They do not care about race and gender. The only thing they care about is building a narrative around that race and gender. Look what they're doing to Gina Carano right now. The Force is female, ladies and gentlemen. That's why the two most prominent people in the Mandalorian series that are catching hate are women, from the same group of people that tell you how much they respect women and how we need representation, and if you criticize a woman, you're an ist or an ism. That group of people are the same group of people that are trying to cancel Gina Carano and Rosario Dawson. Some of the tweets, just on a simple search I saw right here. I'd care way more if Rosario Dawson wasn't a shithead transphobe. Such a shame, too, because Ahsoka's my favorite Star Wars character, and I would love to see her in live action, just not portrayed by a piece of shit. Oh my God, these people. Remember that Rosario Dawson is a transphobe who constantly misgendered and be a trans man. Yeah. Anytime I see her, all I can think about is how Rosario Dawson was sued for assaulting and harassing a trans man. again, this is the same group of people. And then, of course, E.K. Johnston, who's the author for the Ahsoka novel, back in March, tweeted,
"Trans rights are human rights. I'm getting an ulcer while we wait to see what happens with Ahsoka. So I can only imagine how you feel. I hope she's worthy of you."
And they just continue to pounce all over Rosario Dawson. The other person that's getting canceled by the hate mob is the Pedro Pascal fan base. Yet Pedro put this on Instagram. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Friendship. Hashtag this is the way. Uh-oh. Now are we gonna cancel Pedro Pascal? Uh-oh, I love watching the nonsense continue to get exposed right in front of our very eyes from this entire group of people that Lucasfilm decided was more important than real, actual Star Wars fans. You have pandered to a group of people that will never be satisfied, and they will eat your entire staff alive. They will do anything to cancel them and cry about them and whine about them. The same group of people that told you that Rey is the greatest character ever. That group of people, they are now trying to eat these ladies alive that are starring in this show simply over potential opinions, because that's how they work. Again, Pedro Pascal, all right, I don't have anything against him. Yeah, me and him had our little back and forth. What he said was stupid. I called him out for it. I don't think the man should be fired. I think he does a fine job. I mean, I think as the MANdalorian, I think he's neither here nor there. I mean, they put a mask on him. Half the time, he's not even in the suit. But it is what it is. I don't want the man fired from the job. And I'll watch things that he's in. It doesn't matter if me and him see the world in a different way. That's life. Same with Rosario Dawson. I love Rosario Dawson. I know she hates me because I'm a Trump supporter, just like Ashley Eckstein hates me. I've met Ashley Eckstein. Shook her hand. I was nice as could be to her. She's phenomenal as Ahsoka. And if she knew who I actually was in terms of, like, I'm a Trump supporter, she would never be able to associate with me, because that's how these people operate. They are nuts. They live in this Hollywood bubble. But I still am a big fan of Rosario Dawson. She's in Clerks 2. She was in Daredevil. She was in the MCU, Netflix shows. She's great. And Clerks 2 is one of my favorite movies ever. But I thought she was phenomenal in this role. And I could not have imagined she would be as good as she was. I figured she would be good. I was not prepared for how good she was. And the fact that she was so good, and the fact that these weirdos that have labeled everyone that criticized the shitty character of Rey as a sexist because they criticized Rey, they're now seeing that Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka is being overwhelmingly positively reviewed now by everybody, generally speaking, and that makes them even more angry because they want to cancel Rosario. And they've also said that we all hate women, even though that's just not true. We just don't like shitty characters, and Rey is a shitty character, and the sequel trilogy is a shitty trilogy. These movies are objectively terrible. You can like them, but they're terrible. They're objectively terrible, and all you need to do is admit that. It's okay to like bad movies. The sequel trilogy are bad movies. Terrible movies. Okay to like them. But this is where we are. Lucasfilm has spent the last several years pandering to a group of people that were never going to be satisfied. They were always going to eat each other alive at some point, and we're watching it happen right now. And it's a beautiful thing to witness. I love watching these weirdos melt down and cry themselves to sleep and continue to be the fake victims. It's what they are. It's who they are. They will never change. They will never see the world for what it is. The world is nothing but a place for them to victimize themselves and to cry and whine and make up fake narratives that surround fake victimization stories. And it's just funny that the Force apparently is not female in these people's eyes, because it was never about the Force being female. That was just another step in the oppression Olympics. Now the Force is trans, or the Force is this, or the Force, like, it's an ending It's a never-ending rabbit hole of victimization, and that's where we are. I enjoyed the episode. I loved it. I don't forgive Disney Star Wars for anything. Kathleen Kennedy is still terrible. Rian Johnson is still terrible. He's not getting his trilogy because he's trash. J.J. Abrams is trash. And the people that have been involved with the decision-making at Lucasfilm are trash. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have done a fantastic job with The Mandalorian, but even with how good of a job they've done, and especially with this episode, I still have no faith in Lucasfilm moving forward, because the same people that have created this horrible culture of social justice nonsense are still there, and until those people are gone, I can't have any faith in Lucasfilm, and I don't. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo still lost money. Reylos are still weird. Lucasfilm still sucks, and we will talk to you later.